Well, good evening. Welcome to Woodworking. My name is Paul Courtwright. Please feel free to share, subscribe, and like to my videos. Let's leave some comments below in the comment section what your thoughts are on videos, and let's go get started on this. But today, we're going to turn a bowl. I got to do a project for, I think it's a food pantry or something that our club is donating some wooden bowls to it, and so I got a block of wood that we're going to turn a bowl out of. So that's what we're going to do today. So it shouldn't be a long video, but let's get to it and see how far along we get. So hang tight. All right, so here we are. I've been doing a lot of work on some different projects down here, trying to get caught up some things. And so this is one of the projects we're going to be working on. So what I did, this is a piece of soft maple, looks like. Cut down early in April this year. So it might be a little wet. So we found our center here. We're gonna put this up between centers. So we're gonna put that there. And there is a mark here. Looks like it. So I wanna see if it's centered. And it's pretty close. Yeah, I think we'll deal with that. Looks to be a little bit off. So what I'm going to do is move it just a hair. Trying to center it. That's actually better. Yeah. Looks like it's a little heavy on this end, which that would stand to reason because it's a little thicker here, but this face here looks pretty straight, so we're going to go with it since this is going to be the bottom of the bowl anyway. Won't matter too much. So I've moved my headstock around a little bit, so I got to see make sure nothing's moving. Move my headstock down because I'm doing an outboard turning as well. So I got to make sure everything's tight. So, all right, here we go. I need my tool rest. Got my schmuck on. Get our safety glasses on. And use the big tool rest to get this squared away here. So I'm gonna get our safety glasses on and face shield, gloves, and all that good stuff, and we'll be right back. All right, so we're all geared up. We got our safety equipment on, got my face shield on, got our blanket in the thing, and so basically what we want to do is make this round and come up to there, see what we come out, and we'll put a tenon at this end. So let's get started on this and see where we're at. So I got me a bowl gouge here, and I think we're ready. All right, everything's tight. Yeah, there, everything's tight. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Okay. I gotta get my tool rest a little closer. All right, and since it's slipping, we're going to have to tighten things up just a hair. Like I said, I've moved this around, so could be my headstocks is becoming a little loose. I'm not sure. Doesn't appear to be. All right, here we go. And as you can see, I've pretty well ground this tool down. This is the one I use for roughing out stuff like this because I'm not too concerned about what happens to it. It's a great tool for that reason. So okay. Let's move my tail, pull the wrist a little closer. We're making headway, and we'll keep going. Make sure everything's tight. Okay, move my tailstock just a little closer. I think I might knock that off there real quick so it's out of that soft wood there. So let's get the chisel out and knock that off real quick. We are making a mess there, that's for sure. We are making a big mess. First of all, what I want to do, okay, let me get you around here and explain what I'm going to do here. Okay, so I got this little piece in the center right here, and I don't want to lose my center mark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a drill and drill down and just to get through this layer before I knock it off. And that'll give me, mark my center so we can see where I'm at. So hang tight and let me grab my drill. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole right in the center of that, so that when I knock that off, I still have my center mark. See, my center mark's still there. That's what I wanted. So hang tight and we'll get her back on the lathe. All right, let's get her back on there. Okay. So you can see it's gripping pretty good. So I want to get it back in the same hole like that. And I want to run this out right kind of in the same spot like that. Should run pretty true now. Now I'm into the actual beyond the bark. So that's pretty good. All right, so I'm going to finish up cleaning this edge up, and then we'll put a tenon on the bottom here, and then we'll go from there. So let's keep rolling. I want to take off this edge so it's not so sharp there. There. All right. Now we're going to clean this up a little bit more. And I'm not going to worry about this because I'll take all that off. But I want to get tenon on there so I can get it up in my chuck. So I want to flatten this out just a hair more. And then we'll go from here. All right, and then we're going to put a tenon on it. Let me grab my Badan. We'll put a tenon on it so that we can get that reversed around. Okay, and I got my handy dandy trussing thing in there, so we're looking somewhere about right there. So I'm going to put a tenon on it. There we are. Okay, you can see the fibers in there. It's still wet, I can tell. So we're going to get rid of some of that. Get rid of some of that so it's not in the way when we do this. Okay, I want to clean that up just a little bit more. Make sure there's no fibers in there. There. And you can see these shavings, and they feel wet too. They're fairly wet. But I got me a nice good tenon on that. That's good. All right, let me get that off the chuck or off the lathe. We'll get it turned around. We'll go from there. So hang tight. All right, so we got it reversed around, and I got my tailstock up for a little added support. Now let's do the outside shape. Do the outside shape of this. Clean that up. This bowl has got to have to be turned completely tonight because this is wet. And then we'll probably sand it and get it all sanded and see what it takes us. But we'll try to get a coat of coconut oil or something on it tonight. So here we go. So I'm going to shape the outside here. I'm going to clean this edge up here. Let's see if I got rid of that edge there. I'm going to go a little bit more and get rid of this little bit here. And then I think we're going to be good. So we're going to go a little bit more. All right, now refine this a little bit more. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Take just a hair more off there. Get rid of that. All right. That's better. I like that. We can deal with that. Take a little bit more off the top here, smooth that out. Because I got a little bit of tear out right there. I think we're good. So, okay. I think we're good. I just got to do a little bit right there. Turn my tool rest around so I'm square with it. And we're going to take that off and then go from there. All right. That's better. Looks good. All right. I think I like that. A little bit of a tool mark right there. I want to try to see if I can get that out, and then that little bit there. This is probably me being picky, but the more I get out with the tool, the easier it's going to be to sand. So I think that might have it. Yeah. Yeah, I think it might have it. We're good. All right, so now let's work on the face of this and see what we can take out from there. Like I said, this is a little bit wet, so we're going to see what we can take out of it. So, start from here and work my way in. Tool was moving, or tool rest was moving just a hair. All right, hang tight. I'm going to get you a better shot. All right, so here we go. Without getting in your way, bring you back over on this side, because otherwise I'll be standing in your way and you won't be able to see anything. So let's try it again. Okay. I'm going to straighten this up just a hair, and we'll get rid of our tailstock. Okay. Let's get rid of our tailstock, and we'll go from there. So let me get reorganized here a little bit, and we'll be right back. All right, so here we go again. We're going to get rid of this center part and continue to shape our bowl. Okay. My tool rest is just a little bit high. I'm going to drop it down just a hair, and then I want to check to make sure nothing has come loose. Yeah, she's still tight. That's what we want. All right, so let's clean this all out and keep going. Okay. And one of the things I want to do is check to see how thick my wall is. Whoop! Look at that. Got a little hair growing there. All right, so I want to check to see if my wall thickness, how thick that is. So I got a set of calipers for that because I don't want to get too much out here. And I'm about 1/4 inch or so. There it's about 3/8, and then it gets a little thicker here. So I could take off a lot more down in here. So I really don't want to do too much out here. So let's kind of clean this up down in here and get this more out down here. So here we go. Okay, notice I've got a dark spot that's showing up. That's a little bit of a bark inclusion that's in there, which is no big deal, but I don't want to get too carried away just yet. I'm going to try to get this all uniform. And so right here it gets a little thicker. Obviously there it's real thick. So I'm going to clean this edge up here because I probably won't be able to get back to that because this thing is wet and it'll start moving on me. So I'm going to clean this edge up right here. So right in there, getting a little thicker. There's a thick spot right there. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'll clean that up just a little bit, but I don't want to get too much in there. I got a little bit of tear out there, but that's, keep rolling. See where we're at. Gets a little bit thicker right there. So take a little bit more out there. I'm just slowly working my way down the bottom, trying to keep a uniform wall thickness here. Getting a little bit thick right there. Okay. So right in here, I need to take out more. Okay. Let's see what she looks like. So it gets a little bit thick right there. And there it's a lot thicker. I might be able to take some off the base of it, but I'm not gonna. I like the outside shape of it pretty good, so let's take a little bit off. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. I got a little bit of a mark in there now. Still a little bit thick right there, so I can take that mark out. So just need to clean up that right there. I'll lower my tool rest just a hair. All right. So right there, it gets a little thicker. Right in there. All right. So we're pretty well, we got our little bit of a mark there we need to take out. It's getting real thin, thick and round. So we're going to take a little bit more out of there and we'll see what we get. See what we got. Okay, it looks like we got rid of our mark. And yeah, we're not getting thick until we get right into that area right there, where that is. So I'm going to move my tool rest over just a hair more so I can get in there a little bit better. Keep rolling here. check this out and see where we're at. Okay, so it gets a little thicker right there. Yeah, we're a good 5/8 thick. Right in there is about 1/4 inch. So we're going to take a little bit more off of this, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to my Easy Wood tool and see if I can take it out there. And also want to grab my depth gauge to see what we can do with it. See where we're at as far as depth wise. Okay, so I'm a good inch thick in the base, so I got to take a little bit out. I'm getting a little bit of water coming out of it. I see that. So let's keep going, and this here we want as level as possible. Okay, here we go. So this is an Easy Wood tool. I like using it for this purpose because I can get down in here Okay. Now I'll check our... Yeah, it gets a little thicker right there. Right there. And our depth is... Okay. So let's get you around here. I want to explain something to you, and I'll show you what I've got. So let's get you around here and look at that. Get you cleaned off a little bit here. All right. All right, so you can see the mess it made there. So looking at it, you see I got some fuzzies there I need to clean out. Other than that, it looks pretty good. I'm going to do some sanding on it. But what I wanted to show you is, see this patch right here? That is water coming out of the wood right there. So I have to be real careful. You see there's another patch right there. There's a small one right there. It's all coming out of that wood as this is spinning. So there's getting a little bit. I'm not getting wet, but it's coming out of there. And looks the thing, all I need to do now is just clean that up real good, and then we can do some sanding, and we'll flip it around. So hang tight. All right, so what I'm going to do now is, I think I'm going to quit while I'm ahead, and I'm just going to do some sanding on it real good. It's pretty wet. I can feel the water right there in this here. So I want to clean it up, put some sandpaper on it and get the sanding on it, and then we'll flip it around and get the bottom of it turned. We'll have this project done. So hang tight and we'll get the sanding done, because you don't want to watch me sand, so just hang tight. All right, so we're done with that part, sanding. We're done with sanding. Looking at it, it's moving on me a little bit, and I got a mark in here I just cannot get out. So I'm not going to worry too much about it because it's moving pretty quick on me. But I want to put a couple burn marks in the top of it. I think I need to hit the front of that edge. Let me do that real quick. Rough that right there. Hit this edge off. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to put a couple burn marks in that before I move it. So I'm going, before I turn it around, so I got my detail gouge detail pointer here, and I'm just going to put a couple marks in this. Just so you can see, I'm pretty heavy there. It gets real thin right there. So the thing is moving on me, which that was to be expected. So I'm going to go ahead and burn me a couple marks. I need my longer wire. Got my longer wire here. I'm gonna, because I need to hold on to it. All right, that works. Now I got to hit it with some sandpaper, clean that up. There. Now you can see it is moving pretty good on me. So we're going to get it reversed around real quick, and we'll get that set up, and I'll be right back in 1 second. All right, so I got it reversed, turned around. So what we want to do is take this off and finish this off. I got to taper this into there, finish that off there. So let's get our spindle gouge here, and let's get turning on that. So I need my face shield, and let's get going. We'll be about done. Okay. A little bit high. Okay. So I want to take that foot off a little bit. Get rid of this. Taper this foot a little bit. Okay. Get my bowl gouge. And I want to straighten up this edge here, clean that all up. So I'm going to use my bowl gouge here. Try to get this as clean as possible. And now we'll clean up the inside of that. think I'm going to leave it as is for a minute. I'll do some quick sanding, and I need to clean up this face here real quick. And then we'll do some quick sanding, and then we'll come back and take that little bit off and go from there. So hang tight. All right, so now we're at the point of just taking that little knob off. So that's going to entail our spindle gouge. We're going to take that off there, and we'll be basically done. I'm going to slow my lathe down a little bit. And okay, so now I take that little bit off. I gotta be real careful with this. And hit it with some sandpaper. Hit it with some sandpaper, and then we'll be done. I gotta just finish it with some oil. So all right, I think that's got it. So let's take it off the lathe, and we'll put a coat of finish on it. So hang tight. All right, so here we are. I'm going to use some coconut oil on it. So we're going to wipe her down with some coconut oil. So I'm just going to lather it up in there. Put a good coat on it. And this will make the grain pop real well, as you can see. I'll probably put a couple coats on it. I think it turned out pretty good. So coconut oil is good for your skin as well. So that's why I'm not wearing gloves. So you're not going to hurt it any. So as you can see, I'm just rubbing it on pretty generously. And you can see how it changes it. All right. So I finished this up. I guess we'll close out the video here. It actually is 58 minutes, almost an hour to do this bowl. So I hope you enjoyed it. It was kind of a fun project. Didn't think it was that wet of a piece of wood, but I guess it was. So that being said, hopefully you enjoyed the video, learned a little bit. Please feel free to share, subscribe, and like the videos that I do. And let me know in the comment sections what you think of the bowl, and we'll go from there. So there's our bowl. I'm going to wipe it down, let it set for a few minutes, and then wipe off all the excess, but that's what it looks like. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to share, subscribe, and like. And as I rub my hands together and rub that oil in my hands, make my hands nice and soft. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Once again, this is Wood Chip Woodworking. Thanks again for your time, and have a good night. Talk to you soon. Bye.